We're back, guys. Welcome back to the Republic of Players podcast. We have been out for so long, and I actually
Been a
hope that
while.
we're coming through live because yeah, it's been a while. But how is everyone doing? Welcome to the podcast, and yeah, welcome in all the community members as well on the podcast. As always, Paddy Toner. What's happening, Paddy?
I'm not too bad. I'm getting old and rusty, but I'm here. I'm here.
You look fresh, anyway.
Don't lie. You're lying to me now.
Don't charm me.
We're only back 5 minutes. You with your Mullingar charm, eh? Westmead man to the backbone.
What's been happening, Paddy? We've been talking kind of for the last while, just playing some video games and
Yeah. I've had seven kids since the last time we spoke.
yeah.
Yeah.
A few extra people running around the house.
I'm now in a lesbian relationship. I like a lot of things have been changing. Don't tell the wife.
Yeah, we've been
flannel everywhere.
flannel, flannel and mullets. Sorry.
Speaking of mullets, Aidan McCallion, it's great to see you, buddy. You're looking $1 million over there.
Thanks. It's been a good year. I'm trying to remember how this works. It's very weird. It's good. I love it.
We talk about video games and pretend that we know what we're talking about is basically the key to it all.
Right. I do that a lot anyway, I think, so that should be okay. I'm good at pretending I know what I'm talking about.
Should be easy enough. We do it
every week. Just a highlight of the show today, we're going to be talking about Ubisoft's financial struggles. The Watch Dogs film is completed. They've completed film for that movie, which is, I don't know whether I want that or not, but I'll probably go and see it. The big one is the PlayStation 5 Pro price, the features, the supported games, and we also have the upcoming State of Play date as well, which I think could be a really interesting one.
It might be interesting.
Yeah, it does need to be interesting. It might be a way for Sony to kind of bring back a little bit of faith into that company. And just to let everyone know, this Saturday, for 12 hours, we're running a charity stream for multiple myeloma. It's a rare and incurable cancer. I'm actually wearing the t-shirt, and we're going to be running party games throughout the day, bringing in some of the community members, playing games like the usual party games. I was going to say Pal World, but I think that's just because it's in my head. Yeah, the
Daisy.
Top Gear, Daisy. That's the perfect party game. Daisy.
Get everybody in.
Yeah, get everyone into the server
Gang
and take over.
Yeah,
there you go.
Beasts.
Gang Beast. That's what I was trying to think of. Maybe some FC, UFC, and yeah, we might have a few tournaments throughout the day. Maybe some Rocket League. But yeah, please join us. Even if you can drop a lurk throughout the day at some stage, the more people that are watching a stream like that, it really does help the algorithm. We are going to be streaming on both YouTube and Twitch, so wherever your preferred platform of choice is, we'll be there. So please join us. If you do want to donate to that great cause, it's actually my wife has started the fundraiser, and about 2 weeks ago she set up a walk out in Belvedere. It's a local place in Mullingar, and we had an amazing turnout, and she's raised, I think it's close to €2,000 now at the moment, just on her own. So look, even if we can get a little bit more to add to that from the stream on Saturday,
at least a fiver.
I'm not telling anyone how much. I mean,
no,
30 cents.
I mean altogether, like.
Yeah, at least a fiver. There you go.
I didn't mean go out and donate right now. All your money.
So yeah, join us for that. Guys, let's get into news, because we were probably going to spend a little bit of time here. There's a lot going on in the gaming industry at the moment, and I think the topic of the week should be the state of the gaming industry today. Just have a conversation about what we think is going wrong, and if there's any light at the end of the tunnel.
Alert, things are going wrong.
Yeah, things are going very, very wrong. Speaking of going wrong, Ubisoft are going through a serious financial struggle at the moment. So Ubisoft's stock price has dropped significantly, decreasing 83% over the last 5 years, which is astronomical.
Fun.
Investors are calling for Ubisoft to restructure, which never is a good thing. There's probably going to be layoffs included there, and it's never the big guys at the top get laid off. So
Have Ubisoft been taken over yet?
no.
They weren't. That's what they're waiting for, isn't it? Really?
So, and then the last piece is just Ubisoft is planning to focus on its biggest franchises like Assassin's Creed and Far Cry, which I think that's what they've been doing for the last couple of years. But
Almost like that's the problem.
yeah. So,
Like every
Aidan, do you want to jump in
franchise-
here and kind of go through what do you think is wrong with Ubisoft?
I think that Ubisoft got too complicit in making map cleaners, and people are kind of sick of them.
Yeah.
Like, my God, those 3 Assassin's Creed games, Origins, Odyssey, and what was the third one?
Um,
Pirates. Which one you want?
No, the
Black
one,
Flag?
the Viking one.
Valhalla. That was
Valhalla.
a disaster.
Yeah, those games, if you release one of those games, that's a pretty good game. But to release 3 of those in 4 years, they're 120 plus hour map, and it's just the same thing. They need to do something different.
Yeah. I kind of feel that like Ubisoft have trying to be sticking to what worked in the past. And it's just not working anymore. It's like they really got on the map with the likes of Assassin's Creed. That made them their bazillion bucks or whatever they made. But it's like the people that they had then have left the company and they just can't come up with any new IPs or can't make any new structural moves. And it's happening a lot in all art forms of late where they're trying to just stick to the playbook. And I think the playbook is just not working anymore. People are sick of the playbook. We need something new.
I genuinely think as well about Ubisoft is Ubisoft didn't realize what worked. They released Assassin's Creed and the gameplay is great. The story is great.
Yeah.
And the big map is something you do because you have to do. But they're like, oh, people like the big map. And I think that just became a trend for them. They didn't realize what people liked. They thought that they liked these big open worlds with lots of meaningless things to do in them, and I just think it's
like after
so
Assassin's Creed 3,
boring.
it's like this is just the same game over and over and over, just in a different setting.
But
like that even Assassin's Creed 1 and 2, it was like you had to go to these different parts of the map, but they're the same mission over and over again. It was just a new, this boss says something different, or this person says something different. Like you literally went in and you did it, you killed him stealthily, and then you have to go to another part of the map and do the same thing again.
You're repeating these actions in spite of the fact, like the things you like, you're doing the boring stuff to get to the stuff you like, but they think that the boring stuff is the thing that people likes. And I think that has been a problem there for so long with so many games. So many games are like, we need a massive open world with lots of meaningless stuff to do in it and very little substance. And then the substance is really good. I look at Horizon. Horizon has a lot of meaningless crap to do in those games. But the bits in between that, the story beats and the writing is excellent, and that's what brings me through it. But they think it's the big world map that I just don't think is necessary anymore.
So, in terms of IPs that Ubisoft had their hands on in the last, let's say, 2 years, I don't know whether anyone remembers this game because I don't. They brought out an Avatar game that was pretty much a reskin of one of those open world games that we're talking about. Beautiful to look at. What I will say about Ubisoft is, in terms of how they build worlds, there's always a level of detail that goes into their world building, and it's where they really shine. I think people are just sick of that gameplay loop of, okay, we want to uncover this side of the map, let's climb this large tower. And it just it went through every single
32 question marks appear, you clear them all out one by one.
And it was in Far Cry, it was in Assassin's Creed, and their newest game, which should not be a bad seller, is Star Wars Outlaws. And I'm just reading here that it's selling 55% lower than Star Wars Jedi Survivor, which was a game created by EA. I absolutely loved the Star Wars Jedi kind of, there's 2 games now. There is going to be a trilogy as far as I know. And those games were great. They tried something a little bit new. It was an action kind of RPG-esque game, beautiful graphics. But what Ubisoft seemed to do is just reskin, what they've been doing for the last couple of years. And Ubisoft have some phenomenal IPs that they're sitting on. They have the Ghost Recon series, which is like loved by a very hardcore military fan base. I absolutely love it. You know,
All the
Breakpoint
Tarkov
was
players will play that in a heartbeat, probably.
yeah, like they wanted to bring out a multiplayer version of that, but I think it got cancelled. I haven't seen anything about it in the last while. They also have Splinter Cell, another game that we got teased in the Ghost Recon game, Breakpoint. Sam Fisher was actually a special character that you did a mission with, and everyone thought Splinter Cell is coming back. So it's not, and these games had unique gameplay elements. You know, they were stealth,
Everyone wants
military
Splinter Cell
style.
to come back.
What's that?
Everyone wants Splinter Cell
Yeah.
to come back. Those games are amazing.
Would they be
Amazing.
afraid? Would they be afraid to take their Rainbow Six people away from playing Rainbow Six?
I think Rainbow Six sits in a different, I suppose,
it says
realm
here
because
Rainbow Six and Assassin's Creed franchise both achieved very strong net bookings growth, and each benefited with a solid fan base of 30 million unique active players. on
Siege
both.
is still their cash cow. That game is huge.
yeah, and
it's
Siege was
quietly huge.
Siege was a service game before service games were even a thing.
Yeah.
Like they really hit it with Siege, and I play Siege.
Great game.
You know, it is a great game,
Yeah, agreed.
and I don't
much
think
fun.
a single player military game would take kind of players away from that, because you have to understand that Siege has a massive esports. You know, it's massive in the esports scene, and when you can get into that realm of being a big esports game, that kind of carries that game. Like that game is out, what is it, 8-10 years now at the
I don't know why. It would
this
take
stage.
people away for 2 weeks.
Do you ever think- though,
that's
sometimes-
okay.
Do you ever think sometimes the people at the top aren't gamers?
I often do.
Yeah. So, like, do you ever think they're sitting there going, "Oh no, that's a shooting game. No, stick to that one. There's money coming in there. Don't." You know, and I'm not saying, you know, the way they kind of think, the way like, "Oh no, don't take money away, but keep it in there, keep it in there." If that's one is hitting as much as Assassin's Creed, and you don't even have to bring out a new game, like that's saying something. That's like how
An
good it
awful lot
is.
of time it feels like the CEO gets two different pieces of information. There's the people in the game development are like, we think we should do this to try and pivot away from what we're doing and maybe escape
Yeah.
the downturn. And there's people like, well, the focus groups
Yeah.
and the trends say this, so they go with this, and
Yeah.
it always ends up people just getting sick of it.
And I'd hate to say that we're repeating ourselves later on, but that'll come up a lot, like thinking about the state of gaming as well. It's
It
just
will.
like,
Yeah.
And like what I will say is it's easy to kind of bash a company like that. Like we know, and we've connected with a lot of people that work at Ubisoft, especially here in Ireland. Like they have a great presence at all the cons. Like there's some amazing people that work at that company. They're not the issue. It's the decisions that are made at the very top. And then the problem is when those decisions are made and they don't work out, it's the developers that get
I think
the
it
sack, and
falls
it's-
into a
it's-
lot of where companies, and it happens through 20, 30, 40 years, is where they don't adapt and they die. And that happens a lot. They don't adapt to what they're if they just keep their strengths and they think their strengths will stay like that forever, and they just don't. It just doesn't happen like that. Like when Assassin's Creed, go back to it, like it came out, it was a very new genre. Like it was very different. And the reason I love that game is because the story more than the gameplay. Like
Yeah.
the story was so good. You had to play of your ancestors, stuff that happened with your ancestors, and you had to go through all your memories, and like that was so good. And then they kind of went away from it, and they didn't know what they were doing with it, and they messed it all up. Do you know what I
They
mean?
literally didn't know what they were doing with it.
Yeah,
They killed
they
the
didn't
main
know.
character in the fourth game.
Yeah, they didn't understand. Like I thought it was going to be like you go through every century or something and build up to this massive thing at the end in your modern times. Like that would have been epic, but they kind of didn't know what to do. And I think that happens from people changing in the company. You don't always have the same people in the companies, so the storytellers probably went away. But I don't know, I'm drifting here. I'm drifting. Bring it back.
It's okay. Yeah, bring it back.
Bring it back.
But yeah, it'll be interesting to see now that they have, you know, investors are not happy. They've literally released a Star Wars game that it's pretty much a failure, like in terms of its sales.
I
And
will say this one has actually kind of shocked me. I expected Outlaws to do really well.
so did I. I mean, it's a Star Wars game. Even if it's crap, usually it does well.
Yeah, but it kind of confuses me why it didn't catch on, because it looks pretty cool. It's
It's
I
not-
don't think it
Star Wars
runs
not
very well.
Star Wars not diluting their brand big time the last like 10 years.
yeah, but video games
Definitely.
in general kind of still, if the game was half decent, would always do well.
The hardcore fans just buy it anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because even when Star Wars is bad, playing and being in the Star Wars universe generally feels pretty cool.
Yeah, Star Wars. Like the concept of Star Wars is
Yeah.
unreal. It's very like I love it, but like it's definitely diluted. I wouldn't be one now to jump and go watch everything Star Wars, but a lot of people would like so. It's just not for me.
Okay.
There is a lot of games that they have on it, like the Crew. Did that go the Crew Motorfest? Crew 2.
Crew 2, I think they announced that
monthly
they're
and
shutting
weekend.
down the servers, but they're going to develop a way so we can still play the whole game as single player, which I think is pretty nice.
The franchise quadrupled its net bookings year on year, so that's still doing well. Assassin's Creed Shadows, the next flagship title in the franchise, Star Wars Outlaw.
Actually, kind of hyped for Assassin's Creed Shadows, to be honest with you.
That's all the new releases. Lara Croft game is a Prince of Persia, sorry, Lost Crown. I suppose you like that, but
Prince of Persia games have been
Ubisoft
good.
is still like it'd be very hard to take you. It's the same as all the big companies. I think they just have bad years, and sometimes what they say is that like it is down a lot. But I think a lot of people are waiting for the acquisition. There's a lot of people that bought that stock for it to be purchased, and now that it seems to be taking so long and so long and so long and so long, that could be a big thing of it. They think that's going to be taken and it's going to be sold on. You know, they're going to be
I don't
afraid
think
of
there's
that.
going to be an acquisition anymore.
Do you not?
I think acquisitions might be done for a while.
Yeah, maybe. It's very hard to know. Bruce, what's his man name? The big Bruce. I was about to say Bruce Buffer, but
Bruce Buffer.
What's the investor called? His Buffer as well, isn't it? The really famous one. You know, the fellow
Warren
like
Buffett?
Warren Buffett. That's it.
Yeah.
He actually bought that stock, saying he thought it was going to be acquisition as well. But I don't think I think he sold all his stock recently of everything.
He has
But also,
sold
like, people
500
buying
million
that
of
stock.
Apple, 500 million and some, and Intel. He sold a lot of stock
Yeah,
recently.
so it's hard to know.
But people buying that stock are thinking, okay, they've got some amazing IPs. They're making an Avatar game. They're making a Star Wars game. This can't fail.
Yeah.
Like, it boils down to the sales of the games. That's why the stock is doing so bad. And in terms of Ubisoft, I think regardless of what happens, Assassin's Creed will save them year on year when they release it. Like, regardless whether we like it or we think it's boring, it sells. It's their biggest selling game every year that they release.
Valhalla, to be honest, I didn't mind that game.
I would love Valhalla if Origins and Odyssey wasn't before it.
Yeah, those games were brilliant.
It's
Odyssey and Origins were amazing.
It's that Austin Powers thing where any one of them individually is quite good, but if you watch all three in a row, you're like, oh, I'm so sick of these jokes.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot as well. These companies are falling. What they've got too many on board when they were going through good times, and now that they're in bad times, like they have to get rid of a lot.
I think it's definitely an after effect of the boom during COVID. Yeah, 100%.
Yep, like that could be happening too. Like a lot of the time, you see these companies are still making profit, and then they're losing it somewhere else. Like if it's nothing to do with the games at all, it's something to do with their something didn't sell well or.
So just in terms of Ubisoft as well, the Watch Dogs film has completed filming, and it's after wrapping up. It will feature actors Tom Blythe and Sophie Wilde, with release dates yet to be confirmed. So I mean, that could make for a cool movie if they do it right. You know, it's an interesting world in Watch Dogs. I know in terms of when it was released first, we seen it. You know, the graphics absolutely blew us away, and then it was released and it was dialed back quite a lot. But it could make for an interesting movie.
Is Watch Dogs a movie? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, Watch Dogs, yeah.
I like Watch Dogs 2 a lot. That's a very good game, I think. But also, the whole Watch Dogs thing of using phones to hack stuff is probably going to lead to one really good chase scene, and that might be worth it alone.
Yeah.
That's interesting to see games be turned into a video.
Yeah, we've got fairly spoiled with games being turned into either series or...
Can we talk about the Minecraft movie trailer?
Yeah?
I didn't watch it. Is it good?
Oh,
that's not going to fail regardless.
It's going to, yeah, that's the thing. It's going to do incredible money, but that trailer is the most naff thing I've seen in a while.
People are going to go and see it because it's Minecraft.
Yep. And hey,
you would hope it would do well.
It's a game.
We're going on to actually, no, we won't do that just yet because we're going to spend a little bit of time on that. the next piece of news we have, and Paddy just dropped this today, so I don't know how new it is. I think it's only a day.
It is today, yeah.
A day new. Palworld developer has no idea why Nintendo is suing over its Pokemon-like game.
I think we all do.
So that's the headline right there. Paddy, do you want to chime in on this one?
Yeah, well, as far as Nintendo just finished suing another company and won. And so literally just like days after it's coming out, and it's suing the pants off them, and they come out with a statement today saying, we'll do whatever is necessary to stop these bad people from suing us. It's like we're indie developers, and we're trying to do this and we're trying to do that. How about make your own stuff and
Maybe
stop
take
being lazy?
the Pikachu version of
Like, it was the most ridiculous thing I've seen of infringement ever. It's so bad. Like, it's the exact same copy of what you want a Pokemon game to be. That's what people were saying. That's what they wanted it. And like, Nintendo will sue you for putting an emulator on your PC. So they're going to be suing you for doing this crap.
Yep. Suing like families for having
Honestly,
emulators.
like, these lads are like, they've had the game. The game is out a long time. It must be out a year, is it?
Yeah.
It must be out a year.
I think they have a really good chance.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
Why?
Because there's other Pokemon likes, and if they use that as precedent that they haven't sued them, I think Nintendo will have a very hard time.
But what if they were like, they're in line, they're next?
Then it becomes up to like the opinions of a jury.
I don't think the jury. I don't think they have much chance of a jury. We can look up some Palworld figures here and see how. There's one that's exactly like
Pikachu,
Charizard and Pikachu. Like, as soon as you look at it, like, that looks like that. What's Pikachu's bigger form? Raichu, or even the bigger one. Is there another one after that?
No.
Okay, well, he looks like a massive version of Raichu then.
Oh yeah, the psychic Alolan Raichu.
Wait, I'll put it. Can I put it in this chat? I can. I think I can. I'll show you. Can I? Oh, I'll copy it.
I'll try and bring something up here.
Yeah, bring it in there.
Yeah, I got a few here.
Like, there, I shared it into the. Like, even just the advertising for Palworld, the front cover is like they are Pokemon characters.
Yeah. What's the other game called? I think they're legally distinct enough. I don't think there's any that.
Like, to be honest, like, back in the day, Digimon was like pushing it even.
There's probably 10 they would have to take out of the game. I think that'll probably be. There'll probably be 10 they have to get rid of that are like.
Really?
Yeah. I will say I like Power World a lot. I play quite a lot of it.
You still play it?
Yeah. Well, I'm waiting now because it gets updated a lot. So I'm waiting for the next like big update to go back to it. But like. Enough. I think most of them are distinct enough. I think there probably won't
like
be
even the sheep.
Have to
I know you can't really think of
Pikachu
sheep.
one is a joke.
Like, a lot of them are a joke.
That's the closest. He's even got the lightning bolt on his belly, like
even what's the fox one called? Like, they look very similar as well. Or even this one. I just don't think they get it. I think Nintendo are too big to be taking the piss out of. I think they don't have much chance.
I think
they could delete them.
Temtem. That's the one I think is.
It took them a long time to and sue these boys as well. 19th in January 2024. Is that only what came out? I thought it was a lot longer than that. These weeks these months and years are just blended into each other. You don't know what's what anymore.
Electrobuzz, yeah, that's the
Electrobuzz, yeah, that's it. Some of them are ridiculous. I hope that I don't want them to be taken out either, but I just don't think they've much chance.
They've made a really good game. That's what it's like. It's such a fun game to play.
Maybe Nintendo should buy them and and then help them make the game.
You see, in a just world, I think that is what should happen.
Yeah.
Like, fold the company into Nintendo, have them make a Pokemon game like that. I think that would be a just thing to do, but Nintendo seems very when Nintendo start, they're very vindictive.
Yeah. That's their job. They're probably the best.
Yeah, I mean, is it vindictive or are they just protecting their property?
I think it's vindictive because they didn't sue Temtem, and Temtem's, I think, just as we have the same. It just didn't get it didn't get the publicity that Palworld got. It doesn't have guns.
Temtem.
We have received notice of this lawsuit and begin appropriate legal proceedings and investigations into the claims of patent infringement. At this moment, we are unaware of the specific patents we are accused of infringing upon. And we have
No,
not
Temtem
notified
is
of
the
such
same gameplay
details.
as Pokemon.
That was on X, was it, Paddy?
Yeah, I can share it to you.
Uh,
I'll give it to you in your the trop. Chats.
oh yeah, I have it here. Here we go. Yeah, do you want to read through it?
Yesterday, a lawsuit was filed against our company for patent infringement. We have received a notice of this lawsuit and will begin the appropriate legal proceedings and investigations into the claims of patent infringement. At this moment, we are unaware of the specific patents we are accused of infringing upon, and we have not been notified of such details. Pocket Pair is a small indie company based in Tokyo. Our goal as a company has always been to create fun games. We will continue to pursue this goal because we know that our game bring joys to millions of gamers around the world. Palworld was a surprise success this year, both for gamers and for us. We are blown away by the amazing response to the game and have been working hard to make it even better for our fans. We continue to improving Palworld and strive to create a game that our fans can be proud of. It is truly unfortunate that we will be forced to allocate significant time to matters unrelated to game development due to the lawsuit. However, we will do our utmost for our fans and to ensure that indie game developers are not hindered or discouraged from pursuing their creative ideas. We apologize to our fans and supporters for any worry or discomfort that this news has caused. As always, thank you for the continued support of Palworld and Pocket Pair. Their name is Pocket Pair as well.
It's like, to be fair, it's a pretty nice message, and you would feel for, even
They are from Tokyo, and bet you they're really nice people.
not the guys that
It's just the stuff is very, very similar. Very similar. Like even their logo there for the Palworld thing, like just looks like a Pokemon. But sure, I suppose Pokemon have a lot of Pokemon, so like
that's the way it was even.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to
market it at the start. It is a Pokemon game.
I don't think it was marketed like that, was it?
Well, no, it wasn't marketed like that from them, but everyone that was looking at that game said, "I'm buying this game because it looks like Pokemon."
Yeah,
Aiden, am I right?
Guns. Yep. No, that game's really funny. You know, you can catch people in that game.
Someone wrote under it, Palworld is 100 times better than Pokemon. If they're coming after you, you're doing something right.
That's not a smart sentence, but okay.
Everyone under it. F Nintendo. Oh, rah, rah. Will you buy the next Pokemon game? Yes. Do you own
What's
a Switch?
What's your favorite retro game? Pokemon Blue.
Mario. That's the way they are. But like, the problem as well with today's thing, there's so much already been made. I'm not saying they didn't do it intentionally or whatever. It's just some of them are very close to what we've seen.
Yeah.
But someone put up a good picture of I probably can give it to you, Ronan. And you can show it to the stream. I give it in the Republic of Players chat.
Yeah, and then I'm getting that.
It shows Dragon Quest side by side to Pokemon. And it's like showing the different characters.
Yeah, so I got it up there now.
The showing, they could have been ripping off.
Oh God, Toriyama's designs are so good.
Shows they can be ripping off them.
Yeah.
So that's kind of thing. You don't like.
What we will say
is anything original?
No, everything is kind of inspired by something that came previously. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on that, and we'll update you as that, I suppose, court case unfolds on Trop Time Watch.
Drop it out we like there.
This Dragon Quest Pokemon image is breaking my brain. I've never thought about this before.
Hard to know if it's true or not. We just picked it off.
I've played these games. All these monsters are in both of them.
Aiden, have you ever thought of paying 800 quid for a PlayStation 5?
You mean 930 quid?
Oh, it's 930, sorry.
Yeah.
Is that with the disc version or?
Yeah, if you wanted to match a current PS5 having the disc tray and the stand, it's 930 quid.
Or 100 more pixels on the screen?
Oh man, it's Yeah, so the PS5 got announced.
PS5
And
Pro.
PS5 Pro got announced. So its CPU has not been upgraded. Uh, its GPU has. They're saying it's 67% better, and it runs their new upscaling technology. That is,
PSSR.
yes, PSSR, which is hardware related, so it won't work on old PS5s. Just not 100% sure on that. You are getting more memory. It's now a 2 terabyte hard drive, which is important. The PS5 hard drive is jokingly small. It's really annoying.
Yeah, but you can upgrade that for very little
can,
with
yeah.
an M.2 drive.
Yep, and they've gotten extremely reasonably priced now. So yeah, so
PlayStation
700.
Spectral Super Resolution. Now, if that's not marketing at the highest degree.
I do like that all of them like try to put because of it was Nvidia's one DLSS. They all try to have a double letter in it as well to make sure that you
Yeah.
can let them back over and forth.
I think Nvidia should sue for being very similar.
Surprised Nvidia is not involved in the production of it.
No, it's all AMD.
AMD.
So
I
they're
feel
claiming
this is nearly as bad as the Tarkov thing. Swear to God.
Yeah, what it is, I think that's a really good point, Paddy. I think what it's doing is there is going to be some diehards that are out there that'll say, I'm getting it, that's it, you know what, I want to play on the best
And if
system.
you can't afford it, it's not my problem.
Yeah, but it's not even that. I think it's milking that crowd. You know,
it's the
like
whale console.
It's the whale console.
It's
yeah,
the first whale console.
You've been listening to Giant Bomb as well, I hear.
No, but it is a whale. I'm just because in my head I'm like, so like, there's never been a complete whale console except the Neo Geo, which kind of had to be because they were just giving you arcade games. But like, this is just for whales. There's nobody else.
I don't get it. I won't be getting it. I don't play my PS5 now. I'll be honest.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about why you would go and get this console with I suppose the way it was announced, there's no new games. So like there is probably going to be a couple announced with the State of Play that's coming up very soon.
Yeah.
But it's such a silly thing for me to see The Last of Us 2 updated again with like a couple more frames than the original. Like games like that, frames don't matter.
Last of Us games and 8 releases.
Like, oh, I want to go and play Last of Us 2 with a few extra frames. Like that's like those games, realistically, frames don't really matter. Once they're playable, even 30 frames. And I'm a PC player. Like I like my 120 frames on an FPS shooter. But for games like that where I'm sitting on a big screen.
But I love it. If I was flush and I never bought a PS5, I might buy one. But like having a PS5 and then
I think even that though is like
dropping another 800-900 quid on a thing after paying 500 for the PS5, the original one, or 400, whatever it was. It's just, I think it's silly. Like the PS5 hasn't come out that long ago either. What was it, a couple of years, 2 years, 3 years? What is it?
4.
Is it 4 years? Holy fuck! Doesn't feel
what's really annoying this is it's like a real FU to Europe. It's like it's $700 and €800.
Yeah, but have you added the tax onto the dollars? They don't put their tax in front of it, do they?
But the PS5 was $499 and €499.
Yeah, no. Like a lot of people said that in the community, they were talking about tax and all this. But even if you go back and look at the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 4 Pro, there wasn't that big of a difference between the way it was sold in the US to what it was sold here. I think it was it $499, and then the Pro came out and it was a little bit extra. I'll get the price of it.
Yeah.
And it maybe is inflation. You have to bring that into consideration as well. But I don't know. It's way too expensive. What I would like is the original PS5 to drop down in price. It's done nothing but actually go up in price, even though now it's pretty dated hardware.
I actually bought my PS5 specifically because I was like 2 weeks away from it going up in price.
I don't. I think they should be more interested in making some bloody games for that.
Agreed.
Instead of making
exactly.
Astro Boy. So Astro Boy came out, and Astro Boy has gotten the most critical raving reviews I've seen in such a long time.
Yeah.
Astro Boy will not be enhanced for the PS5 Pro.
Ridiculous. It's
They're
not
comparing it to like Mario, aren't they, Astro Boy? or bot.
There's a couple of Mario speedrunners I was watching, and they're like, "This is as good as the best Mario games."
Very good. I haven't even seen a
Oh.
little bit of it. Never mind. Everyone was raving about it, and I was like, "Oh, all right, good."
So the PS4 when it was released was, I have here $299, €299, £259 sterling. The
That's
Pro
cheap.
was $399, €399, and £349 sterling.
Euros and dollars were always matched on prices up until this very point where it's £100 more for some reason. But the annoying thing is, $700 is like €670.
I know, yeah. I actually had to put it into the
So annoying.
converter calculator.
I wonder, is
annoying.
it more expensive now to export things to Europe?
I don't know. That would make sense if it was to England. It was more expensive.
No, but like, do you know the way transport and stuff like that coming from certain countries? Like, it's harder to get things through shipping and stuff like now because of wars and stuff that's going on. You know, through certain shipping lanes and all that stuff that they'd be doing. Just
If it's coming from China, if they're coming from China, it can't cost more to go to Europe than it would to America. That's fairly similar, with the same shipping lanes.
there must be some reason for
So who is this console for?
Who's it for?
Yeah.
Wales,
Wales.
rich people. I think it's for like the people that'll be like buy an iPhone every year. People that have to have the top of the range stuff. People like
that
those really
love
annoying people that had a
arguing
Bluray
about how
player
bad
before
Microsoft
everyone
are on
else.
Twitter.
people that put it on Twitter. Yeah, I got
People
it.
that love saying that Microsoft is bad on Twitter.
Yeah, true.
Hardcore
Yeah.
fanboys.
They are about though. No,
Aidan, you asked me to bring this up, which is quite nice. This
is the one silver lining of this whole thing.
the 30th anniversary PlayStation. It's the grey. I mean, they did have it for the PS4. We talked a little bit about it before, and it does look nice. I'm not going to lie to you. To be honest with you, I hate the design of the PS5.
Yeah,
I despise it. I think it's ridiculous. It doesn't sit without a stand underneath. I don't really know what they're talking about, but I mean, the colors are nice here. I think the controllers are where...
I think I might try and get one of those controllers. That seems like a really nice controller.
Yeah.
yeah. If you want to make a few quid, buy one now and sit in them.
Yeah.
Because it'll be worth a lot of money in the future.
Keep it boxed. Don't play it.
Keep it
Don't have
sealed.
fun with it.
No, 100%. Don't.
Buy two, one to play with and one to keep.
Don't. Yeah, if you have enough money, buy three. Give me one. Be nice. Come on.
They're
guys, be
only
nice.
900 quid.
They're only 900. What's that to you? None.
Will these be more expensive because they're a limited edition, or
They weren't with the PS4 one, so I don't know. But
the design
Also-
is? I'm sorry, the design is ghastly with the PS5, and I
It's
said it when it was first
terrible.
released. It is. I'm looking at mine here. It doesn't even look like it should be sitting where it is. The
You can
stand
see
is
mine
probably
over there.
falling sideways, and
mine is over there, but I put it behind the TV because I'm ashamed to look at it.
I'm ashamed of it. I'm ashamed of you.
but yeah, this is pretty nice. I actually want to bring up the PS4 30th anniversary because I think that one was really nice.
Yes, it was.
Let's have a
PS4
look.
30th anniversary. 30th anniversary again.
Yeah, like this is a console. So we've got only got a small image on Google Images. Sorry if but yeah, this one is really sick.
It also helps that the PS4 is a very nice design.
It is a nice
It's like-
design, definitely.
It's like sleek, it's angular.
yeah,
It looks
it's
like a box
perfectly
that
on
would-
the top of a desk or underneath your.
It looks like it should sit under the TV.
Yeah,
The PS5 doesn't fit in most TV consoles. It's the dumb.
PS5
I hate
it's
it.
the worst
Desktop.
console design I've ever
It's a
seen.
desktop.
Oh, I'm so agreeing with you, Ronan. Absolutely. It's
I absolutely
terrible.
despise it. People were writing to me saying, "Do you not like it? Like it looks, it's advanced and futuristic." I said, "No, it's this thing. It's the two wings at the top are ridiculous.
It's
Like sleek it
that-
off, put a flat bottom on it. Stop being. I don't know who designed this, but they spent way too long, and I went through way too many design versions, and then they came to this, and it was like, yeah, that's it.
There's a
Like,
name
this
for that
is
design.
Horrendous.
It's like there's a name for the design.
Isn't
Of
that
that.
just a slim desktop?
No, it's not
No.
rounded. It looks like routers. Routers look like this.
Absolutely
Or
ridiculous
routers.
looking.
Yeah, all right.
Routers are routers. What
Tomato,
was it? That,
tomato.
it was that.
Nobody says potato.
No, except for me. You know, it was a Kaiba of Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, if you put a head on it, it does look like
the white,
Kaiba.
the two things coming out here with Kaiba. Oh, Yugi.
Like I know some people
You'll
like the
never
design,
defeat
and
me.
I suppose that's their opinion. But for me, it's horrible.
It's no Apple anyway, is it? They're not great at design.
Even the Xbox is a much better design than that. And I know the Xbox is just a box
fridge.
essentially, but yeah, but I don't want it to be anything else. I don't need it to be annoying and bad in my peripheral vision. I want something that will just fit into a shelving unit.
It needs to do two things. It needs to stand up straight and sit flat.
Yeah.
PS5 failed instantly.
For the stand, how much do you have to add to the stand for
30
the
quid.
Pro? 30 quid. And then the
100 for the disk drive.
100 for the disc drive.
The PS5 is failing with games. Like it is. Like this generation is it's not for me. It's not for me.
I think we're coming in. Oh, maybe we should wait for. Do you want to move to the topic of the week?
Yeah, let's move to the topic of the week. So we're going to talk about the state of the video game industry at the moment. It's a topic that has been creeping in more and more into the Trop group chat, and people, I don't know whether people are worried, but people are starting to take notice that every game that comes out is an unoptimized mess. When a game does come out and it's a really good one to play, like for example, Baldur's Gate 3 was just outstanding. Like that's a game that really sticks out to me in the last couple of years. But there's a lot of games that come out and you spend 80 quid on this new game if you get the standard version.
Every game is a base edition now.
Yeah, and then you have to, like at the very start of the generation, it was Cyberpunk. That came out, it was a mess. I know they're after turning it around. But it seems to be every single game that's released, there's optimization issues. And I think that is an issue. And it's almost like it's starting to become a regular occurrence with every release. And now it's coming to the stage where we're not really getting any games.
There is an exception. Japanese developers are not guilty of this in the same way.
No, they're not.
And I think that's almost indicative of the problem here. It's that it's the two different cultures' view of making money.
You don't mess around in Japan or China or any of them places like that.
Yeah, but
you do what you're told.
Japanese developers would rather wait till everything's ready and risk not selling as many to make sure their game is done. In
I think that they don't oversell things as well. They don't try and what games like if you think of any Nintendo game, they run so well and they look so good, but they're not trying to jump for that next generation of look.
No.
You know what I mean? Where like they're sticking to what they know, and maybe they're right. I think a lot of the companies are trying to outdo each other all the time with certain things and think that's what sells the next new thing. This has to be the best graphics ever. Another frame, give me 2 frames. That's like, and then they end up making a mess of the whole thing. And maybe they're not in as control as they should be of everything.
I just don't think console players give a shit about frames. Like once they're running and they're not playing like FPS games like Call of Duty.
I will say that was one of the things from the PS5 Pro announcement that was funniest, was that they revealed before the console came out that 70% of people play in performance mode, and that making it nicer isn't what people want. People want games to run well.
Yeah. I think as well, like I was looking at the side-by-sides on the PS5 and the PS5 Pro, and it's like you're trying not to sell this anymore, but like it's like you're looking at it and you're like trying to look into it like, what?
That was a YouTube.
What am I?
Destroys detail.
What am I looking at here? It's like back in the day when I went from like PS2 to PS3, I was like, wow, this is a big change. PS3, PS4, big change. PS5, PS4 Pro, nah. Not much difference here.
I do feel like putting that video on YouTube was a terrible idea.
Yeah, well, YouTube, you can put it up. Well, depends what they uploaded it in, but you can put it up pretty high standard if you want.
Also, wouldn't it have been better if they just had a brand new game to show off? And 100%. It's like, this is where you can play this game at the best, the best possible frames, the best fidelity, whatever fancy word you want to use. instead of showing The Last of Us
Used to
2,
be a nice
which,
fancy racing game. That's what they used to come out with, and you used
yeah,
to see the best of it. You used to love watching the. It's just games are not that. The differences are minuscule now, and
It
we
feels like
don't see
Sony's
it.
really far away from a really big thing. They don't just don't have anything even close.
Like I think a lot of people don't realize as well. It's like they're saying they're going to come out with a 120 frame thing, but if you don't have a 120 frame TV or a 120
Means
frame
nothing.
monitor,
yeah,
it means nothing at all. But people don't. Some people don't know that, and they
Yeah.
think it's going to get it, and they're like, "Wow, this looks so much different," and it doesn't.
you have a 60 hertz
You have a 60 hertz
TV.
screen,
That's
and
all you're getting, baby.
you'd be lucky to get a 60 hertz TV. It'd be like 50 or something usually. And that's a lot of people don't realize that. They have to get, and then you have to get a new monitor, you have to get a new HDMI cable, you have to get a new this, new that, new other thing. And it's expensive to be a gamer these days.
It is.
I tell you for that.
What people don't realize is if you don't have a above 60 hertz TV, for 930 quid, you could absolutely buy a 144 hertz monitor and build a PC.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
That's
there is
true.
that argument there as well. And we did have a discussion on the community, and it was like how people can compare buying a PC for compared to buying a PS Pro. Like you're not going to get a PC that's powerful enough, but you have to bring in all the
Thank
other
you,
aspects
Logan.
where a PC is an investment. It's upgradable. It's not just there to play games. You know, you can use it as a workstation. You can use it to do lots of other things that a console
You
can't.
can
Like
use it for everything.
you can use it
Everything.
for everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everything you watch. Like we're on the PCs right now, podcast, doing everything. And I go off, will I be off this after this playing games? Be off after that, editing the video. Be off after that, doing this, doing that.
Yeah.
You can do your work on it. You can do everything on it. You know, like the PS5, you can't do everything on that. You can do a lot on it, but you can't do
A
everything on it.
PC, honestly, building the PC was one of the best investments for me because it's lasted me now. I think I have the PC 6 years and it's still, it's still up to standard. I bought an RTX card there recently. I got it secondhand, got it for really cheap. And that's going to bring me on to,
That's like
maybe
that old, you remember Only Fools and Horses? And he goes, yeah, use the same brush for 17 years. Has
Fingers
had,
broom.
yeah, same broom. Has had 16 heads and 17
that's exactly
new
what it
handles.
is.
It's like, how is it the same broom then? It just is. Because my PC, I don't think the only thing that's original from the first PC that I bought, I think I still have this one hard drive. That's it. Everything else has changed. The keys,
Yeah.
everything. But that's the thing is, the other thing I think people see that when people say that with the PC, they say it's upgradable, right? It is, but it isn't. If you don't have the right motherboard in your PC, you're done
Yeah.
for.
I know, and you need to do a little bit of research to
you
have
do.
that
Or-
upgrade path there for you.
And I'll give this invite out to any Trop members. If you want any advice, message me. I am
Yeah.
so happy to give people advice on how to make sure things are future proofed and what things will work for you. I love PC building and I'm always here if anybody wants any help.
It's such a good thing to get into do as well. I think that anybody
Yeah.
can do it. Right? Like maybe you get advice with the parts, but you can build it yourself, no
Yeah.
problem. It's one of them. It's like Lego, and
It
you
is.
just follow a YouTube video. And like I've done, I started off with not a notion about PCs, and I've built like 4 or 5 at this stage, and I've learned as I go along.
Linus Sebastian has every tutorial you'll ever need.
Yep.
And
PC
the first time you build a PC and you turn it on and it works and you download your first game, everything just clicks and you're
It's
like,
like as well.
this
it's
is
like
what it means.
You know that meme when you turn it on, you're waiting for it to explode.
Yeah. Well, my power cord wasn't plugged in the first one, and my wife comes in and just goes, "Do you not have to plug that in for it to work?" And I'm like, "Yeah, yes, I do."
Oh.
Plugged it in and everything lit up. I was like, "Oh my god, this is
No.
great." But yeah, same as
my
that.
brother
I've
actually
built
got
a couple of PCs since.
He got the blue screen of death the last couple of days.
Oh no.
And he was like, so he was on to somebody and they're like, oh, worse coming to worse, your motherboard's gone. And I said, it could be any part. I said, I don't know what you're talking about. You're just going straight to the motherboard. And I said, look, and remember the same thing was happening to me. Sometimes he updated Windows and Windows done something. And Windows tried to get it to Windows 11 or something like that there. And it's been blue screen ever since. And I told him then to wipe the PC, wipe it down to 0 and put a new thing in it.
Scorched start, we call it.
And it's completely working perfectly now. So you have to watch out for them out updates. But people don't realize that took me days to figure out. It wasn't even like go back to, like Windows update and keep your stuff on your memory card or your HDD or SDD.
And like not to tell everyone to go out and buy a PC. It is a great investment, but some people do just want the system under the TV in the living room. Like, and I understand that having a big PC in your living room mightn't be the most, nicest thing to have.
A PS5.
I know, yeah. Just go out and buy the PS5.
Xbox is big too.
PS5 or the Series X. Both consoles are great. I have them both. They're brilliant.
Yeah, and I have a PS5 and I play it from time to time.
With the state of gaming we were talking about, wasn't
it?
Yeah. I was going to say, I don't think it's just gaming. I think everything is in a lull at the minute, like TV, movies. Like, I don't read books, so I don't really know.
TV and movies. There's some absolute banging TV shows that have come out recently.
There is, but there's not as many as there used to be. Like there's a lot of TV. Like, you don't get as good TV shows as there used to be. Like, there used to be a lot more TV to watch than there. Maybe it's just my thing has changed, but definitely not movies. Like, what good movies come out? Very little.
Yeah,
very little. Very, very little. And I love movies. Like, I would. There was sometimes I used to go through spats and I just sit and watch movies all day. Fucking every day, and I used to love them, and it's gone very bad. I find it seems like we're getting to a peak of a lot of things, and it just has to come back to the way it used to be. Art has to be given its chance to progress again. I think there's a lot of boundaries and stuff that people are set that they can't go past anymore, and it's hurting everywhere. It's hurting everybody.
But it's even the acquisition of all these companies that Microsoft did to try and catch up with the PlayStation exclusives, and then they release a lot of these acquired studio games and they failed miserably. Like, they were just not good games.
Do you think though as well, like when you set out to open a company, right, and you know that you're going to bring a public, you know you're going to bring a public with it, your main target is to be acquired someday and is to make a bunch of money and is to leave after. Do you think a lot of these people have left these companies and these companies are in shambles now because they don't have any direction anymore? And like, it does happen. It does happen where the founders leave and then the company is just like it's not the backbone that it used to be. Like, I don't know if that's happened. I'm only throwing ideas out here.
No, and I think that is it's a great goal to have, to build up a company and then get acquired by one of these bigger companies. But also you'd expect that the bigger company will go and look after what you're after building and bring the IP that you're after creating to a wider audience. The game has a lot bigger budget than did previously. Like, the one that I'm thinking of here is Bethesda and Starfield. Like, I'm a huge Bethesda fan, and I suppose they've been going downhill for the last couple of years. I mean, they had Skyrim, one of the greatest games ever. I think when we look back, especially for me anyway, I've pumped so many hours into that game. Like, I was playing Morrowind on a real old crappy PC back in the day, which was one of the first Elder Scrolls games. But they brought out the Fallout online game, which was just a kind of a money grab at that kind of game and genre, and then it got acquired. Starfield for me is just not a good game. It's boring or something. I don't know. It just didn't feel like a Bethesda game, or it didn't feel like an advanced Bethesda game. Like, they used to be. When Skyrim was coming out, it was just something that was brand new. It was industry leading. When Starfield came out, it was almost like Skyrim in space, and there was no advancement there, even though they had the massive budget there to go and make an absolute amazing game. You know, I was hoping No Man's Sky with a huge budget, and No Man's Sky is still a much better game than Starfield for me.
Starfield definitely suffered by the fact that No Man's Sky existed.
But No Man's Sky took a long time to get to the place it is, though.
Yeah. Well, No Man's Sky was, I think, the company was launched, the game was developed, and it was released, and it failed, and it fixed itself, all within the time frame of Starfield's entire development.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, like, if you want to get a good game, you go to PC. Mods and, you know, everything you need is on a PC, and you can let the community make the game they want as well.
I think the next 5 years is going to be a massive readjustment phase for the games industry as a whole. I think it's going to have to go the same way movies are going. Movies, you'll notice that a lot of really low budget art house movies are coming out now, and they're the ones that are doing pretty well. All the A24 stuff in particular. I think games like Palworld are actually the perfect example of games with a smaller team that needs less money to get going and make a game with a sort of tighter scope and nowhere near as costing much
Yeah.
as what it's going to go on. This is what games are going to have to do over the next 5 years. And a lot of the major companies are going to have to make risks or fail.
Well,
We
I'd
just
say-
want games that are fun and that work.
I think a lot are going to fail. I think it's going to happen everywhere.
I think a lot of the indie companies aren't. I think the ones who have the trouble are the huge companies, because the indie companies are pretty good at. So the most indie companies, how they work is like they put a game out, it does okay, the game out does okay, and they build up their profit enough to make a really big risk. That either skyrockets them or they go back to where they were beforehand. These companies aren't public, so risking a game and it failing to the point of not taking your company out isn't going to destroy you because of stock price. But that just because of how stocks work, that doesn't work with big companies.
Yeah.
And do you remember even the PS4? Like the indie scene carried the PS4 for, I think, probably the first year.
4 years?
Yeah, well, definitely the first year. I played a lot of indie games, and that's when I kind of started to look at these smaller companies and realize that this is where the interesting stuff is happening because they can take that risk.
I think a big middle part of the 360 PS3 generation was the same. Xbox Live Arcade every week was like a thing you waited for because they were putting out banger games every week. You had Trials. You had that game where what's the game we exploded a couple of times? Explosion Man. It was a great game.
Explosion Man.
Braid came out. Like all these early indie games, they were what like kept the 360 going when like we were in the middle of the Gears of War winter where every game was great.
Do you think there's a lot kind of hanging on to the release of Grand Theft Auto 6? How well that's going to do?
Everybody is waiting with bated breath.
Like that's the big one, isn't it? Realistically, like even in the next 5 years.
I would argue it's the biggest game release of our lifetimes.
It's the biggest game release of the next 20 years. I don't think until the next one comes out.
Just
It's
anyone
the
in the
sequel
chat
to
there,
the
what game are you looking forward to in the next maybe 2 years?
Does
Like,
anyone want to come up?
More than anything, yeah. Even if somebody wants to come in, guys, we did mention it in the
I
group
forgot
chat
the
earlier
overlay.
on.
Do you have an overlay for that?
No, but
Thought about
we can just have. Oh, yeah, that might mess things up. But
I wonder, can I bring them in without a camera, maybe? If anybody
do
wants
that?
to come in. I think so, yeah.
What do you
it'll come up.
call? Oh, what do you call that game that's coming out by?
I seriously can't wait for GTA 6, though. Honest to Christ.
Yeah.
It's going to be massive. There'll be a lot of people not working that day, I tell you.
Yep.
I'll be including me. If anyone's watching, please do drop a like in the old. And any floods that day, don't be ringing me.
But you must-
Let
I
the
always-
if the
house-
toilet gets blocked, don't be ringing Paddy.
Don't be ringing me now. I'll tell you how to do it over the phone. Don't do it. How do you do it? Don't do it, Kashid.
So I
She
suppose
said
anyone.
you can blame the Marvel movie for the movie industry. I honestly, I don't think Marvel does have a lot to do with it, but I think a lot to do with it is digital.
It's absolutely digital.
Yeah, the companies used to like make a lot more money off DVDs and film. Like they used to go to get their shot at the video at the movies, and then they get to release video after that as well. Like that's where they made their money. So you don't really see that many good indie titles. The indie stuff seems to be going straight to Netflix or straight to, and they're good. Like there's some great movies on Netflix that just went straight to Netflix or Prime or any of them.
It's the death of the $30 to $40 million movie.
Yeah, like Adam Sandler's movies are really good still. Like he comes out with some bangers, and I love always the only thing with Netflix now they don't have enough stuff coming out. Like you're gonna end up having Netflix, Prime, and all that in one network, and then we're just going back to TV again. I bet you can't wait for the WWE to come to Netflix.
Yeah, I'll have to actually pay for a Netflix subscription again.
Which said the new Frostpunk he's looking forward to. Yeah, the original Frostpunk is amazing.
Avowed is the game I'm looking forward to.
Avowed, okay, yeah. That's
Obsidian
is that an RPG?
Yeah, it's the Obsidian game that's coming out.
Oh, Obsidian, yeah. I don't know whether you know this about the developers, 11-bit studio, the Frostpunk developers. They're actually ex-employees of CD Projekt, the Witcher guys.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah, and the studio is in Poland, in Warsaw as well. But yeah, Frostpunk is an amazing game. Paddy, you might like that. I don't know whether you've played it, but it's like a strategy game with a twist.
And the
It's
twist is misery.
yeah, it's misery basically. There's an ice age coming. You have to try and survive for as long as possible.
Sounds like my
and
kind of game.
it's amazing. It's on Game Pass, I know, but it's probably cheap now. The original one is definitely worth picking up.
That's what he's saying. You know that meme? It's like, I relaxed playing an extremely hard game. You wouldn't get it.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
wouldn't get it. You wouldn't get it.
Frostpunk's one of those games where it's like, okay, do I send the children to the mines because it might help us?
Yeah,
survive
yeah.
the
Do you
next
bring in
couple of
child
days?
labor?
Like it's
Oh, so it's like an RTS game.
Yeah, it's an RTS. Yeah,
Oh yeah, definitely. I love RTS.
and it's
games.
like you have to make awful decisions to try and survive.
but it's the
Sounds like
style,
me.
it's the menu. Like everything is just crafted within an inch of its life, and it is brilliant.
that is one thing that PC games hold above everyone else is RTS games. Like it's just the point and click RTS.
It's hard
I
to
love
get
them.
a good RTS on console. They have tried a few, and a few have worked, but definitely I want a mouse when I'm
I was playing
roaming
that
around the
like,
map.
Manor Lords lately, that's very good. They need to update it a bit more, but it's a very good game. It's on Game Pass if anybody wants to try it out. It's an RTS game, but it's
Yeah.
good.
Like there's still good games out there, and
There
there's
is.
but there's not like these. I think the massive AAA games where everybody is talking about them. You know, looking forward to them, taking days off work. The only other one I can think of that's coming is, like you said, Paddy, GTA 6.
Oh, I can't wait. And so I know, I mean, I knew they were going to push it back. We all knew they were going to push it
Yeah.
back. But it's just like the end of 2026. You're taking a piece.
I don't know if there's the money in the video game industry at the moment to make games that cost what AAA games cost.
They're saying that GTA game is billions. It's not like millions. Like they're saying it. That's how much it's costing to develop.
Well, it is the sequel to the most successful piece of media that's ever been made.
They're going to find it hard to let go of of GTA 5 as well.
I
Like,
think it's going to be I might struggle.
definitely.
It's
Unless
just going to
it's
be
like the
a
business.
changeover. Here's GTA Online in the new map. Like they're smart enough to know what to do with that thing, and to keep,
Yeah, well, it's not coming out straight away on PC either, so like we don't know how long it'll take. And then, well, we don't know how. Like, it's going to be huge. It's going to be.
I think the PC might be delayed specifically because they want to release GTA 6 RP at launch on PC.
Very good.
That's because they bought the two major servers, remember?
Yeah, they
Saying
did.
that the reason that one of
No
the reasons for
no
the delay
Pixel is one of them anyway.
yeah, the reason the delays is they kind of want to have that at launch.
Yeah.
nice.
Should we end it, will we?
Yeah, we'll call it there. Guys, just to let everyone know, if you haven't heard at the very start of the show, we are having a 12-hour stream this Saturday for a rare cancer called multiple myeloma, to fundraise for that and to hopefully put some research into that, so people that do have it or the families are suffering can get the help they need. And yeah, we're going to be running party games all day, gang beasts.
I'll be very
Daisy.
surprised if it ends at 12. I'll just be honest with you. It's 12 o'clock on a Saturday. I'll be around for a little bit longer after that, I'd say.
Paddy's going to push it on.
I'll be around for the evening part. I'm at a Magic pre-release during the day, so I'll be about for the
Well,
evening.
it's Saturday night. I'm usually on later than that anyway.
It's 9 o'clock in the morning.
No, 12. We're 12 to 12. No, I won't be there till 9 o'clock. 12. I'm saying past 12 o'clock at night. It'd be like 1 or 2.
Yeah, we can push it on if
Remember
we'll see
Gang
how it
Beasts at
goes.
5 o'clock in the morning?
Perfect.
Remember Gang Beasts at 5 and 6 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah.
Aiden, download DayZ and get the server launcher as well. We're probably heading into DayZ late that night, and
Yeah.
might be an interesting one if you do have it.
I think I do.
Yeah, I was planning
The-
today. I had to put it
the-
on for a little
the
bit earlier on.
DayZ.
And if there's any recommendations as well of what games you want to play. Another thing as well that I didn't mention is we are going to have another show like this throughout the day. We might do a game of the year in review, like look at each game this year and really kind of, I suppose, see what games are worth playing and what we're looking forward to towards the end of the year and what might win game of the year. Might be a good thing to do, maybe the middle of the day, and yeah, hopefully
another thing
get
we
some
got
community members in.
ask in the chat as well, like games that we might have missed, stuff that they want us to play or look at, or
When did
stuff like that
Balatro
off
come
from the
out?
year.
Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
That game always comes up. It must be like
It's a World of Warcraft joke. Have love not Warcraft in South
Yeah.
Park.
I'm actually playing World of Warcraft again.
Yeah, we played it for a little bit as well. It's free for the first 20 levels.
Yeah.
I
It's
have never,
pretty amazing,
ever,
to be honest.
ever played that game. Ever,
Oh,
ever. Not once.
it's all of the lovely nostalgia of going back
Not
to it.
one. Not one.
It's the start of it is amazing. Some of the quests that you do are top notch. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. So, Paddy, where can the good folks find you?
You got to do a horror game. Just the Republic of Players. I never see the Republic of Players. I'm there and we're getting the community's kind of lulled a little bit. Facebook's reach is lulled a little bit, but we'll get it going again. Everything will be pumping again, and we're hoping to get the podcast going every week or every few weeks or whatever we're available. But we'll do it as much as we can, and we're going to try and get some more content going. We do play a lot of Tarkov. We'll try
A little bit too much.
And DayZ, Tarkov, DayZ, them kind of games. I love them. But thank you for watching.
Sweet. Aidan, the beautiful mullet.
The mullet machine.
Where can the good folks find you?
You can Twitter, AODHAN616. And if you want to do something, you can like my band's YouTube page. It's just another band, Donegal 1.
Should give me the link to it.
Yeah, getting more likes will be handy for me.
We'll put the link on it
Yep.
on the end of the video, sure.
Thank
Too much
you.
turkey. Never enough turkey. God, I love horror games. What's Tarkov? The best game you'll ever play.
It's in beta. You wouldn't have
It's
heard
in
of it.
beta. No, you've never heard of it.
I'm surprised Tarkov came up so little in this episode.
I know we're trying to hold ourselves back a
We're
little bit.
holding ourselves back a little bit.
Gone a little bit ridiculous lately. We're having way too much fun over there.
Yeah, we're only like, is it 3 weeks in, and I'm like level 30 something.
Yeah, we're at the highest level we've ever been.
Yeah, so quickly.
We're getting way too good at it.
Nice.
Is that the Tesco Value Hunt Showdown game? I mean, Hunt Showdown is great. Like, I'm not gonna say anything bad about Hunt Showdown.
It's not Tarkov though.
Yeah, Ush is a fan of Hunt Showdown. It's an extraction shooter, I suppose, technically, but it is fun. It is fun.
Hunt Showdown
is
came
an
out
amazing game.
after Tarkov though, didn't it?
It did.
Yeah, so there. What about you, Ronan?
Yeah, so find me anywhere on the Republic. I'm usually in the group chat, which is a great place that, you know, we can have a chat about video games and people, you know, ask questions about some of the issues that they're having with PCs or consoles, and there's always somebody there to help out, which is always great to see. You know, don't be afraid to post on the community as well. As Paddy said, we're trying to get some more interaction on the actual community, and Facebook are doing everything they can to try and stop that. And yeah, and it, like everywhere else, is just the Alpha Fox, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. And yeah, this has been great. It's actually nice to get back to this, guys. It's been too long, and yeah, we're a little bit rusty. Well, I know I am, but hopefully we start bringing you. Yeah, we start bringing you kind of more content over the next couple of weeks and really building back what we had previously with the Republic. And we're going to be putting a lot of work in. And again, if there's anyone out there that does want to be part of it and has ideas for some content that maybe they want to create something for our YouTube channel, please don't be afraid to get in contact with us. I know there is people out there that do create content, but don't be afraid to come to us if you do want a platform to put that. So really appreciate everyone, and yeah, we'll see you Saturday, 12 o'clock. Peace out.
Bye.